So let's start off with the cryptocurrency basics so that you understand the main point of the entire market. Okay, the best way to think about crypto is it's a secure, transparent way of storing and sharing information that is viewed by everyone but isn't necessarily controlled by one person. This form of technology allows information to be transferable between parties, where during that transfer process, there's a form of encryption so that it's a secure way of sharing information, but can be done completely on an open ledger where everyone can see transparently what's going on. There's really no central entity that we're relying on to be transparent because both parties are in agreement and the information is there for everyone to see. So even though there's a ton of cryptocurrencies out there, there's a few main applications of crypto. The first biggest one, and this is applicable to Bitcoin, which is the most popular cryptocurrency, is something that stores value. So it protects against currency debasement and is a fast way of transferring wealth without borders, without having to deal with centralized government entities. Okay, a lot of people just think this is for, bad activity, but this is actually one of the most transparent ways of transacting. The second big use case for cryptocurrency is something called DeFi, which stands for decentralized finance. A simple way to look at this is considering it as programmable money. So imagine a network where you can set up automations where all the transactions are happening by themselves and you can continue to build a network without needing all these different departments of people doing individual things. It's a web of programmable money where something called smart contracts are executing all of these functions. We're going to dive a lot more into understanding a little bit about how that works so you can really wrap your mind around it. But coins like Ethereum, Solana, BNB, these are all things that, yes, can store some value, but are mostly geared towards decentralized finance. And this is probably going to be one of the biggest emerging markets that the world ever seen. Like I said, we're going to dive into that. And the third biggest category is something called stablecoins. Now, these aren't really used as investment vehicles. Rather, this is a cryptocurrency version meant to represent the value of a fiat currency. When I say fiat currency, I mean something like the US dollar or the yuan. Currencies that are issued by a central government. Some of the biggest ones are the USDT stablecoin, which is always going to be worth $1 and essentially allows you to use regular money, but on the blockchain. Before we dive into key terms and learning a little bit more about cryptocurrency, I want to move into section 2 and talk about the huge investment potential in the short and long term for this emerging market. So chances are you've probably heard a decent amount about Bitcoin. And the whole reason Bitcoin has caught a lot of traction over the past several years is because it is considered a store of value, fighting against one of the biggest issues that countries in general have and that the US is definitely starting to see, which is something called currency debasement.